Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of King David's Knowledge. In this edition, we'll be discussing about the origin of Christianity and the beginning of the Vatican City, and to find out what they really represent in that time. We'll see how it began with the Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Then we'll see how the fall of Rome affected them to move to Constantinople, all the way up to the Crusades from 1099 to the early 1300s. And then last, we'll see the great creations such as St. Peter's Basilica and all the great artwork inside, including Bernini, the great sculptor, around the fountain of the Vatican City. But underneath the Vatican City, do you really know what's under there?
That's so good.
Now, let's begin. The Roman Empire was the post-Republican period of ancient Rome. From the accession of Caesar Augustus to the military anarchy of the 3rd century, it was a principate with Italy as the metropole of the provinces and the city of Rome as the sole capital between 27 BC and 286 AD. In the beginning of the Roman Empire, the persecution of Christians occurred throughout most of the Roman Empire's history, beginning in the 1st century AD. Originally a polytheistic empire in the traditions of Roman paganism and the Hellenistic religion, as Christianity spread through the empire, it came into ideological conflict with the imperial cult of ancient Rome. Now, during the reign of the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, between 306 AD to 337 AD, Christianity began to transition to the dominant religion of the Roman Empire. Historians remain uncertain about Constantine's reasons for favoring Christianity, and theologians and historians are often argued about which form of early Christianity he subscribed to. But what we do know is that he brought together the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD and the beginning of the canon Bible that we know of today. But soon after acceptance of Christianity in the Roman Empire, in 476 the Germanic barbarian king Odoacer deposed the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire in Italy, Romulus Augustulus, and the Senate sent the imperial insignia to the Eastern Roman Emperor Flavius Zeno, known in the Byzantine Empire of Constantinople, Turkey, which is now known as Istanbul, Turkey. Now, since the fall of Rome to the moving of Constantinople, these times were known as the Dark Ages, because it took many years for people to remember how the Roman Empire built roads, bridges, and it led up to the Crusades, where a series of religious wars initiated, supported, and sometimes directed by the Latin Church in the medieval period. The best known of the Crusades are those to the Holy Land in the period between 1095 and 1291 that were intended to liberate Jerusalem and its surrounding area from Islamic rule. Now, after the Crusades, through the influence of the Catholic Church, Europe started to expand and explore by building on the churches and the streets and roads, and also exploring and sending off explorers all around the world that's well known of. In the Vatican City, the most famous is known as the Sistine Chapel and St. Peter's Basilica. So inside these holy places, we got pictures of angels on one side, but when you go on the outside, you have images made by the famous sculptor Bernini of Roman mythology. Now that we know what's on top of the Vatican City, now let's find out what's underneath, especially St. Peter's Basilica. Beginning with the founding of Rome, the first begins with the mausoleum of Caius Pollilius Heracla, and contains a tablet in which the existence of the nearby arena Nero's Circus is mentioned. Nero's Circus was the site of the first organized state-sponsored martyrdoms of Christians in 65 AD. Traditions hold that 2 years later, St. Peter and many other Christians shared their fate. Now, isn't that funny? They have pictures of angels on top, but a burial ground for killing Christians underneath. Next on the burial chambers, it belonged to Fania Redempta, the wife of Aurelius Hermes, a freeman of the Augusti family, who highlights his wife as incomparable. The walls have niches where the ashes were stored in urns, which indicate a pagan different from the main religions of the world burial. Now, down the line of the tombs is Mausoleum E. This is a tomb of T. Aelius Tyrannus, a freedman who worked in public office. The most notable elements of this tomb are two alabaster containers, one with a Medusa carving and the stucco paintings on the wall. Now, we already did a video on heroes, so why would they have a burial underground with Medusa image? We know of Perseus that fought for Andromeda and killed Medusa to chop off her head and made the Kraken monster into stone. Now last, with the founding of Rome, in Roman mythology, Romulus and Remus are twin brothers whose story tells the events that led to the founding of the city of Rome and the Roman kingdom by Romulus. Romulus then killed his brother Remus, made a sacrifice to the Roman gods, and then blessed Palatine Hill, which is now known as Roman Vatican City. Last to the expansion of the Roman Empire is the rape of the Sabine women, also known as the abduction of the Sabine women, was an incident in Roman mythology in which the men of Rome committed a mass abduction of young women from other cities in the region. It is said that after the foundation of the city, the population consisted solely of Latins and other Italic people, and particularly male bandits, and the reason why they needed to expand their Roman Empire. Now, isn't it funny when Rome wants to show you about God and Christianity, they show something on top, but show something different underneath? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this edition of King David's Knowledge.